I never thought a single sentence could destroy an entire life. That night, I was angry, exhausted, and speaking without thinking. I believed my husband was asleep, unaware of the storm of words pouring out of me as I vented my frustration to my sister on the phone. I told her I felt trapped, that sometimes I wondered if marrying him had been the biggest mistake of my life. I complained about his silence, his habits, his inability to understand me. The words felt heavy but relieving in the moment, like releasing poison from my chest. What I didn't know was that he was standing in the hallway, having come back inside to grab his forgotten keys. He heard everything, every careless word, every doubt I confessed. He didn't interrupt me or confront me. He quietly picked up his keys and left again. The next morning, I noticed his absence but assumed he'd gone to work early. His phone was switched off. By noon, worrying began to settle in my stomach, a cold and unfamiliar fear I couldn't shake. Hours passed, then days. No calls, no messages. I replayed that night over and over in my head, realizing too late what he must have heard. Guilt consumed me, and regret followed closely behind, relentless and unforgiving. On the third day, the police knocked on my door. Their faces told me everything before their words did. There had been an accident, a late-night drive, a sharp curve on a wet road. He didn't survive. My world collapsed in seconds. I screamed, cried, begged for time to reverse everything. I wanted to tell him I didn't mean it. That frustration isn't the same as truth. That love can exist alongside anger. At the funeral, I stood beside his casket, surrounded by people who loved him, feeling like an imposter among them. I couldn't bring myself to touch the cold wood, knowing my voice might have been the last thing that pushed him out the door. After he was gone, I found a note folded inside his jacket. It was simple. He wrote that he loved me, but hearing those words made him feel like he no longer belonged in my life. He needed air, space, and time to think. Time is cruel. It moves forward no matter how much you want it to stop. Days turned into months, and the house remained painfully quiet, filled only with memories and what-ifs. I learned that words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. Even when said in anger, they carry weight. They settle into hearts and minds, sometimes causing damage far beyond intention. Now I live with the lesson he never got to hear me explain. Love should be spoken carefully, especially in moments of frustration, because sometimes the people listening are closer than you think can sometimes. There is no chance to say sorry.